Hi, I'm Kanel and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I look forward to talking to you about a book that I received in order to give a review on the patterns included. The name of the book is Summer Crochet by designer Janine Myska. Stick around and find out what patterns I'm looking forward to crocheting, and also I would love to hear what patterns you are also interested in making. So a quick word about the designer Janine. She's based in Winnipeg, Canada and has been designing for over 8 years. I personally have knit one of her designs. It was the Chasing Summer Tank, which is a free pattern available I think on her website and also Ravelry. And I actually made two of those, and it is a very easy pattern to follow, which speaks to her skill as a designer to be able to explain things clearly to follow, especially if you are new to crochet. The book begins with an introduction on how to do all of the crochet stitches, right from the chain stitch to a double crochet. So if you are new to crochet, you will most likely be able to get your journey going with this book. Everything is explained very clearly with the help of words and also visuals. So hopefully there's something in there that you will be able to make. The patterns range in skill from easy, which is a beginner pattern, and also all the way to advanced. So no matter what stage you are at with your crochet, you will find something that I am sure you will enjoy making. Something that's also mentioned in the beginning of the book is gauge. When I was new to crochet, I had no idea what this was. I had a 4.5 millimeter hook, and then I had a hook that was maybe 1.75 millimeters, and all I knew is that if the yarn was thin, I used the 1.75, and if the yarn was DK or worsted or even fingering weight, I thought that a 4.5 millimeter hook would work for everything. So it's important that you take the time and, just do a little bit of reading, watch some videos, get yourself acquainted with the different hook sizes, the different yarn weights. You don't need to know the whole list, but there are reasons why a pattern recommends a certain size hook. Don't make the same mistakes that I did. So the first pattern in the book is the saltwater cardigan. This is described as an intermediate skill level pattern. You use a 3.5 millimeter hook and fingering weight yarn. The yarn that was used for the sample that is shown in the photo is fingering weight We Crochet Lindy chain in the colorway Celery. And this is a yarn made with a blend of linen and cotton. I think that this is a perfect choice for such a garment, so that if you're wearing it in summer, which is the season that this book is all about, that you have something that is nice and airy, does not keep you too warm, and is very comfortable to wear. The design is made with a combination of double crochet and chain stitches, and these are actually some of the first stitches you will learn when you learn to crochet, along with the single crochet. So if you are determined, I believe that this is a pattern you can make. The design is nice and airy. It's a mesh fabric that is created, and I love how it is styled with a high-waisted jeans, a cute little crop top, a hat. It just gives a very nice summer vibe, as is the theme of the book. So I would personally wear it exactly as styled. Personally, I love a nice high-waisted jeans or shorts. Or for this one, I could see myself wearing it with my favorite type of bottom in summer, which is a nice linen blend pants. I love long pants. I think they're easy, they're very comfy, nothing too clingy or tight on the body. And I just love how it looks when you can mix and match them, pair them with whatever cute little crop top, which there are some of those in this book. I will get to that. And you have a nice, easy, simple to style, easy to wear garment. Next up is the Palm Springs handbag. If you are like me, you love bags. I actually used to make bags. I have crochet bags, and I have some bags that I've actually stitched myself, but that's for another time. So this bag is made with a 3.75 millimeter hook, and it is made with DK weight yarn held double. That is actually pretty important, that you realize that this would give you a tighter gauge and also a more dense fabric, which is perfect for when you're making bags, because if you are knitting or crocheting a bag, you want to have a fabric that will not have too many holes for your small items to poke through. For example, if you have your keys or a pen or anything like that in your bag, you want to make sure everything stays in. And a denser stitch is perfect for making sure that the fabric is that is created is not too loose. What I like about this bag as well is the size. It's a nice clutch size. It also has a nice wooden handle. That is something that I would like to experiment with a bag in the future. I have done leather straps, and those are quite nice to add once you know how to, get all the little fixtures added. I think those are really nice as well, but this one would be a first for me if I would make a bag with wooden handles. And I think the sizing is perfect as well. I like to make sure I always have my keys, purse, phone. Those are the three things that I try not to leave home without. My brain might have other plans at the time. I've been known to forget my purse. But anyway, this is a bag that I believe you can have all your essentials in if you're out, just for dinner or a snack or whatever have you, meeting friends. It's very stylish, especially in this neutral off-white color. I think it can go with many other outfits, but that is not an excuse not to experiment with color, which is something that I love to do. Personally, I would make this bag in a nice bright yellow or red. I think those colors add a nice pop to any outfit, and this would be perfect for experimenting with something like that. It doesn't use too much yarn, and yes, you have a nice accessory. So next up is the bellflower bucket hat. It's actually pretty cool that this pattern is sized for baby right all the way to an adult large, and it uses not that much yarn. It would take up approximately 315 yards for the largest size and 288 meters. And it is made from a worsted weight cotton yarn held double on a 4.5 millimeter needle, which would also create a pretty dense fabric. What I love about cotton yarn is that it's easily washable. Just do not make the mistake that I made and throw everything in the dryer, and then we have shrinkage, nearly two sizes of shrinkage. I will cover that in another time. So now we get to one of the first designs that I have decided I will be making, and it is the hibiscus sunglasses pouch. This is made on a 2 millimeter needle. It's kind of tiny, yes, but it's made on light fingering weight yarn. The one used for the sample is Hobie Baby Cotton Organic. I have actually used this yarn, and I think I have some left over. And it takes up approximately 85 yards or 79 meters, which is perfect for if you have any scraps from a previous project. And I love that you have options on the closure. You have the option to do the drawstring closure or the flex flame, the flex frame closure. And that is one where you have like a metal flexible frame that you pinch in to open from the edges, and then when you release it, it snaps back closed. And I think that's pretty nice for when you just want to get your accessories out of your bag. You don't want to, be too fiddly. And I would look forward into purchasing them. I believe they're available on Amazon, so you can check that out if you're also interested in making the hibiscus sunglasses pouch. I also think that this would be a good design for if you are interested in experimenting with pushing your limits and your ability on how to crochet different items. It says skill level intermediate, but again, give it a try. It's a small project. What do you have to lose? The most you can do is undo the project, pull it out, and try again. So next up is the boardwalk bralette. I mentioned that there are a few of these patterns, and this is the first of the two that are included in this book. It is made with a DK weight cotton and linen blend yarn, and this is done on 3.5 millimeter needles, which gives a nice dense fabric, which makes sure that it is not too see-through with the stitches, and especially on the top area of your body. The length is modifiable, in my opinion, from what I can see in the pattern, and it comes to just under the bust, but you have like maybe 2 to 3 inches of fabric, which gives it a nice little flair to the design. The model is wearing it styled with high-waisted shorts, and I think that is absolutely cute, fits into my personal style, and I would love to make something like this. The next design, we come to our first wrap. It's called the hibiscus floral wrap. It is made on 3.5 millimeter needles and uses fingering weight merino wool with nylon blend. And this is actually a beautiful stitch. It has like a nice floral pattern that is made with the crochet stitches that you use. I like that it is pretty versatile. You can wear it as a wrap. You can wear it over your shoulders. And when I say wrap, I mean like, around the bottom half of your body. You can also put it over your shoulders. Since it is made with a merino wool, it might be a little warm, but for summer, depending on where you are in the world, summer nights can be a little cooler. Here in Sweden, that is definitely the case. And I think that this would be a lovely accessory to have for those summer nights when maybe you're walking home from somewhere, hanging out on the balcony, or what have you. If you're outdoors, if you're headed somewhere to dinner, maybe this is a nice and stylish accessory. I love the coral type color that was chosen, and this really brings out the beauty of the pattern. So next up, we have the Bellflower Bucket Bag. This is described as an intermediate level pattern, uses 3.75 millimeter hook and DK weight Hobie Rainbow 88 in colorway 03. This yarn is 100% cotton. I actually do have some of this that I am looking forward to trying soon. And maybe this could be the project that I use for that. It takes up approximately 6 skeins of the yarn, and that comes in at around 425 yards, which is approximately 389 meters. This is actually not a project that takes up too much yarn, and I love that it's a crossbody bag. I love having my hands free when I'm out and about. And again, this is the perfect size bag for if you're traveling around with your purse, keys, and phone. You can also stick another bag in there, like if you're planning to go shopping and just want something a little more dressy. I find that in the summer, I really love to dress up whenever I'm leaving the house, even if it's going for groceries. And this bag is a nice and stylish accessory. It actually ties into the type of style that I like for bags. And I have several crossbody bags. I actually use the same strap and interchange it on some of the different bags that I own, since like I said, I had done some handmade bags before and I've done a little bit of leather work. So yes, I do have a strap that I just put on whatever bag I'm wearing if I would like to convert it into a crossbody style. And I think this fits nicely into that aesthetic. And because it is such a thick yarn and you use like a 3.75 millimeter hook, I believe that this would be perfect again for if you have items in your bag that are small, like your lip gloss, pen, whatever have you, that with a denser fabric, you don't have the worry of your items like slipping through the holes. And this is a really cute design. I love that it has like a nice flowery detail. It's not just all one stitch, and it switches it up a bit, which is something that I look forward to when I make any item, whether it's knit or crochet. I love something that keeps me interested, and I think that that is the beauty of design. Okay, so we come to another item that I believe I will be making this summer. I'm not sure yet if I will make the dress version or the top. This is the Tropical Beach Dress and Tank, and it's described as an intermediate level pattern. You use fingering weight yarn, and the yarn used is a blend of Pima cotton and acrylic, and this is done on a 3.5 millimeter hook. And I think that this is a very nice, versatile pattern you can have obviously as a shirt or a dress. I really like that it has like a nice mesh to it. You can throw it over a swimsuit as the model is wearing. It's perfect for the beach. It's perfect for if you're at a resort, as this section is actually entitled Resort Wear. And I feel that it fits perfectly into that vibe. It's nice to have something that you can throw on if you're at a hotel, for example. You're going to make your way down to the pool. Maybe you stop and have breakfast. This is a nice dress to throw on over your swimsuit. You don't have to worry about taking off too many layers. And I think like it's a nice, easy and breezy vibe. If I were to make the version with the shirt instead of the dress, I think that would look nice with a pair of shorts or linen pants. Maybe not the linen pants, because I'm picturing making this at about hip length. So yeah, definitely I think like a pair of shorts would be pretty cute with this. And I look forward to trying to figure out how I would style it. But I definitely think I'm leaning towards making the dress more than the top. But we see how it goes. Maybe if I have enough yarn, I make both. Next, we have the Malibu wrap skirt, and this is described as an intermediate skill level pattern. You use 3.5 millimeter hook, and the yarn chosen was the Hobie Friends wheel. This is a blend of cotton and acrylic, and depending on what size you make, obviously you would need 2 to 3 skeins for the main color, and then 1 to 2 for the contrast color. I think it's pretty cool that 2 colors are used for this skirt because it really shows off the pattern in the stitches and gives the vibe of waves, in my opinion. If I were to make this, I would probably lean more towards stereotypical beachy colors like blues or like turquoise and white. I think that that definitely would bring out the wave design in the pattern, and it's really fun to play around with. I'm also curious to see how this would look in a solid color, and I may play around and experiment with that as I actually like the stitch, and it's really inspiring to see how you can really make something pop just by adding a contrast color. We're now back to one of my favorite sections, another bag. This is described as an easy skill level pattern, and the name is the Collins bag. It uses a 4.5 millimeter hook and worsted weight yarn held double, which definitely will give you a pretty dense fabric. I would say that the yarn used here, it gives me like a feeling of like a basket bag, a raffia bag, but it is actually 100% cotton. I guess maybe it's just the colorway chosen, but I think it's pretty nice. And this neutral brown works great with many outfits. I love how it's styled here casually with a tank and some nice high-waisted jeans. Again, those are some of my faves, and I think this will be a really fun pattern to make. And it's interesting that this is described as a beginner level pattern, and you have the nice accent with the wooden handles. I think that's pretty cool. And the bag is big enough that I could probably get my, I don't know, my beach shawl or wrap in there along with the sunglasses. And my purse, keys, phones, the essentials for when I'm leaving the house. I think this is a nice bag that you can take with you to the beach or elsewhere. I think it's very versatile, and again, I would enjoy making this. Next up, we have the Pacific Swim Dress, which is an intermediate skill level pattern. The yarn used is a DK weight yarn, which is a blend of cotton and linen. I have actually not worked with a cotton and linen blend as yet, and I look forward to trying that out if I can get my hands on this yarn or something similar. The yarn is We Crochet Cotton DK in colorway Swan. The project takes up approximately 5 to 11 skeins of yarn depending on your size, and that goes from 575 to and that goes from 575 to roughly 1,325 yards, converts to 526 to 1,212 meters. I think this is a pretty cool design. It gives a nice open mesh, and this is perfect for throwing over a swimsuit. However, in my experience, be careful with the tan lines. If you're gonna wear this dress, probably don't think to sit around and wear this in the sun all day. Otherwise, you're gonna end up looking like a zebra, speaking from experience. But this is a really cool pattern to throw over a swimsuit. You show off the dress, you show off the swimsuit, everything in one. Perfect for if you're just heading down for breakfast, if you're at a hotel or a resort, for example, something to throw on so you don't feel as exposed when you're on the beach. Whatever level of comfort you're at, I think that this is a very beautiful design. I love that it creates almost like a basket weave. That's the type of vibe that I'm getting from it, and it's pretty cool. And I think this would be a really fun project to make. It uses 3.5 millimeter needles, and as with all the patterns in the book, it ranges from extra small to a 5X. So the next design is actually one that I would have loved to test crochet for Janine, but I was not able to apply at the time due to other commitments. And this is the Ripple Swim Skirt. It's absolutely beautiful, and I will be making this. I am sure I have something in my yarn stash that will be perfect for this. I imagine that this can be done with a nice linen yarn. It's made on 3.5 millimeter needles, and the sample shown is made with a blend of cotton and acrylic yarn, and it's a sport weight using from anywhere around 450 to 1,250 yards, converts to 411 to 1,143 meters. And I would make the pattern as is The only thing I may modify is to make it a little wider so that it wraps around the body a little bit more. But I think it's super cute with the way that it ties and just hangs. It's simple, easy to wear, nice fabric, covers what you want it to cover. And I would probably use a yarn that is similar in color. I actually think I have a yarn similar. I'll give that a check when I'm done with this video. Next, we have the raffia bucket hat, and I think this is definitely a perfect beginner project. It's described as an easy skill level. The yarn used is bulky Hobie Raffaella in the colorway Dusty Rose, which I actually think is a very nice color. And it's made of 100% paper raffia. You use one roll for the two sizes that are included, and you use a 6 millimeter crochet hook. I think that Hobie has a nice range of colors for their yarns, and I'm sure you could find a nice color to make this. Personally, I would go with like maybe a yellow or like a grass green, and I think that that goes with a lot of the outfits that I wear during the summer. I love bright colors, and I think that this is a nice and fun project to play around with color and yeah, find your own personal style, make it yours. Next is the siren side slit dress. I had to practice saying this because I stumbled so many times. Try saying that 3 times fast. Okay, so this dress is the design on the cover of the book. It is described as an intermediate level pattern and uses a 3.5 millimeter hook and DK weight yarn. It is a nice open mesh dress. I actually had one similar to this that was store bought. I have no idea what happened to that dress. Probably somewhere in the process of moving to Sweden, it got lost, or maybe I gave it away or donated or something. But I look forward to replacing that, and it's cool to see that I have a design here available to me that I can make in a size that fits me, and I can customize it however I want. And I definitely look forward to making this dress. No two ways about it. This will be on my hooks this summer. What I like about this pattern is that even though it's a dress, I think that this could be made into a shirt, and it would look really nice if you have, like, for example, a contrasting camisole underneath or whatever choice you make. I mean, it doesn't have to be contrasting, it can be the same color. And this would go nice with jeans, a linen shorts. It could be made into like a slightly shorter dress with a fringe on the end. I find this design to be very inspiring, and there's lots that you can do with this. And I look forward to making it, as I said. Okay, so next up is the pineberry skirt. The first thing that stood out to me about this pattern was the pineapple, or I guess it's called a pineberry in this case, but I think this was called like the pineapple stitch. And it is something that I saw a lot when I was growing up in Barbados, and we had like in our house like these little, what do you call them, I don't know if they're called like, are they throws, like they're kind of small and they fit like just on one cushion on the sofa, like on the chair back. And I think they're called doilies, but I don't know, is doilies what you use for like the table, the centerpiece? Anyway, I digress. But this particular stitch pattern reminds me of that. I can't get it out of my head. And that was usually made with like a lace weight yarn, a very tiny hook. And I just remember like you went into almost everyone's house, and we're talking maybe like, you know, the mid 90s. I don't want to age myself here. But when I was a kid, I remember going to like my neighbor's house, and yeah, everybody always had like these little circles that you like just put to hang over the back of the chairs, and I thought it was so cool. And that is what the pineberry skirt reminds me of, but in a good way. And I think that it's pretty cool that this stitch can be, or I should say, like this pattern has been done in such a way that you have a very nice, classy skirt. It's a new twist on what is, in my mind, a design that has been around for a long time. And the way that Janine styles this into a nice ankle length skirt is absolutely beautiful. I think it's also something that could be made shorter if you prefer, and this would be very fun to play around with. The next pattern is the Coachella Valley button up, and this sample was made with a yarn that I have also used several times. I've used it to make a dress, a cardigan, and a vest. The vest is actually no longer in my possession because my mother in law loves it better than I do, and I gave it to her for Christmas. So, the yarn that I'm talking about is the Hobie Happy Place. This comes in two variants. You have the solid version and the melange. And this yarn was made in a collaboration between designer Tony Lipsy and Hobie. And I think it was released, it might have been, was it last year or the year before? But when it was released, I immediately purchased it, and the first thing that I made was a dress. So I can attest that this yarn is lovely to work with. It feels like, I don't know, like butter on your needles. Even if you're using wooden needles, this yarn is very nice to work with. It doesn't hurt my hands, and I actually appreciate that when it comes to working with a yarn that has like a cotton component. So this is very nice. It is not a yarn that keeps you too warm, and I guess also for summer it will be nice and cooling. Or if you are living in a climate similar to Sweden in the summer, the nights can get pretty chilly. So I think that that is a nice yarn to work with. The design here, the Coachella Valley button up, is made with like, some mesh to the fabric, and I think that provides some nice airiness. So I don't think that this would keep you too warm. It's also short sleeve, comes to like a nice mid thigh length, and I think that's pretty cute. It could also actually be, how should I say, it could be modified in such a way that you can make this more into a shirt or even a longer dress. I think that this is pretty versatile, and I would have fun making something like this. Next up is the zinnia bandana, and this is described as an intermediate level pattern. It has a nice shell stitch that is used, an open shell stitch. The hook recommended is 3.5 millimeter needles, and it uses approximately just one ball of sport weight yarn running at around 100 yards or 91 meters. Well, this is not a design that I would make for myself in terms of a bandana. I don't do bandanas. I know someone who loves them, and I would consider making this for her. You know who you are. Next up, we have the ruffle bralette, and this is actually a really fun project. You have the option to make it in two colors or one solid color. It has a nice ruffle on the bottom. I think that can be customized to whatever length you want, depending on what level of coverage you're comfortable with. It uses a 3.5 millimeter hook, and the yarn used is a DK weight. It's 100% cotton, and I think once again that's pretty nice for garments of this type. Easy to wash, easy to take care of. Do not put it in the dryer. Yeah. Best to probably like let cotton yarn dry on a cool cycle, or air dry. Please don't do what I did and get it in the dryer, and then it shrinks two sizes, and then it can be given away to a small child. Back to the pattern. I think this is a lovely crochet design. It has a nice sleek look. I like the thin straps on the neckline, covers what it needs to cover, and then you have like the cutest ruffle. I see it here styled with a high-waisted shorts. I would style it the same way, have a nice, maybe a shirt thrown over it, like a button-up shirt. I also see that this would be something cute that I would envision myself wearing with like linen pants, linen shirt, whether it's like 3/4 length pants, or what do you say 3/4 length is knee length? I don't know. You tell me. But I that's how, like, that's the vibe that I'm getting from it. Like, I'm not I'm most likely not going to wear the top like by itself with everything, exposed, the whole back and all of that. But I think like if I am out and about and not just on the beach, like I would wear this top with something else over it, but still be able to like show off the design. So something nice and open, which is why I'm thinking like, resort wear, linen shirt, linen pants. And I think that would give a nice and cool vibe. Come to the final pattern, and that is the smoky quartz cardigan. It is made with fingering weight yarn. The one used is a blend of 70% merino wool and 30% silk. That is actually a yarn combination I have not yet tried, and I'm interested to try it, depending on if I can find something similar here available to me. And it uses a 3.5 millimeter hook, and for the borders and hems, you downsize to a 3 millimeter hook. I think that this is definitely a nice pattern. It comes to like just a length where it's like mid thigh. Would you say that's mid thigh? Mm, okay, it covers just past her butt, at least on Janine here in the photo. And I think she has styled it beautifully with the shorts and the tank top. Nice, casual, breezy pattern once again. It has a nice mesh gauge. And I think that this is also a pretty nice color chosen, something that can be styled with lots of other pieces. And you can dress it up however you want. And I think that that speaks to the versatility and beauty of the pattern. So, if you have stuck around this long, thank you for choosing to spend a few moments of your day with me. I look forward to hearing what you want to make. You have heard my thoughts and some ideas that I have around styling many of these pieces. If you have some suggestions, I would love to hear them. Please make sure to comment below. And yeah, thank you once again for spending some time with me. Bye and have a great day.